Across the island of Ireland, north and south, the thousands of Irishmen who fought for Britain in World War I will be remembered on Sunday, on the centenary of Armistice Day. For much of the last century, the contribution of men from the south was deliberately written out of history, while those from Northern Ireland were treated as heroes. Our Ireland correspondent Emma Vardy reports.
They were musicians who became soldiers. When World War I broke out, every member of Londonderry's Hamilton Flute Band signed up. Our connections with this part of history are gradually fading into the past.
I think that he must have saw some terrible things.
Ruby Jordan's father played in the band. She died aged 92, a few days after we filmed this interview. Her father, Archie, went to war when he was 18. He returned to Northern Ireland, but many other members of the band lost their lives.
And my father, I don't know if he was joking or not, he said, they gave us all a glass of rum and shouted no surrender, and we all raced over the top like idiots.
And how do you feel to this day when you hear the band playing?
I feel proud. I love to hear the bands.
Derry's band members doubled as stretcher bearers, and their part in the war has never been forgotten.
Every year we would commemorate the Battle of the Somme, and we would parade to the cenotaph and lay a wreath in memory of the fallen.
By the end of the war in 1918, tens of thousands of Irishmen from the south had also fought alongside British regiments. But while they were away, the Easter Rising had been launched by Irish Republicans to end British rule. It meant coming home. Southern Ireland was no place for Irish soldiers who'd served with the British Army.
Very good. They had to hang their heads. You know, they didn't come back as heroes, which they should have, but the opposite was the case.
Sonny's second cousin, John Condon from Waterford, was the youngest soldier to be killed. It's believed he was just 14. More than 1,100 men from this county alone lost their lives in the war. Those that returned home faced shame and disgrace. For decades, the service of Irish soldiers was almost wiped from public memory.
I suppose there was a more or less unwritten consensus here in this part of Ireland that the entire episode of the First World War, it would be best perhaps if that was brushed under the carpet. And I suppose sadly it continued right up until quite recently when we had the peace process on the island of Ireland. People were more willing then at that stage to look back at what actually happened during the Great War.
To this day, many families in Ireland are still discovering what their ancestors did in the war.
It's only in later years now. A lot of people are mellowing, a lot of people are learning and beginning to see the truth.
This memorial was established for the young John Condon, so future generations will remember the thousands of Irish soldiers who were once deliberately forgotten. Emma Vardy, BBC News, Waterford.